Tech companies are beginning to tune into the needs of athletes or people who just like to work out more and more often. Products like the Apple Watch.
Apple Watch is designed to help anyone who wears it lead a healthier life by being more active.
And Fitbit's hugely successful IPO are evidence of that. Today we're going to test out Spotify's new feature that was just released this month called Running.
Tempo detected.
But we're not just going to test out the app, we're actually going to match it up against TempoRun and another one called RockMyRun. We picked these two particular apps to match up against Spotify's running app because they do something very, very similar, but they do it for a cost that's a lot less. To get Spotify's running feature, you're going to have to spend $10 a month for the entire length of the time you use the feature. On the other hand, if you use TempoRun, you spend $1 and that's it. RockMyRun is actually a free app, which is great because you get access to a ton of playlists for no cost. But if you actually want the playlist to match your tempo or the pace of your running, you're gonna have to pay. All right, let's try out these apps. I will be back in a few. If you pay for Spotify, the running tab is in the regular menu, and it's cool because there are a bunch of pre-made genres for you to choose from. Once you choose a genre for your run, the app determines your steps per minute and matches a song to your pace.
Start running to detect tempo.
When you first open the TempoRun app on your phone, it categorizes the tempo of all your songs on your phone, 1 being the slowest tempo songs, 10 being the fastest tempo songs. But the difference between TempoRun and running is that TempoRun uses your music. TempoRun also asks you for data on you, which is supposed to help the app better calculate the songs suited for your version of walking, running, jogging. RockMyRun has a ton of playlists that all sound like they were actually mixed by a DJ, which is cool because that way there's no stops between the songs that you're listening to while you're running. The free version lets you get access to the majority of those playlists, which is great if you don't want to pay money. And when you pay the money, what you actually do is you download these playlists to your phone and they adjust with you as you're running. Whew. Okay, so I just tried out Spotify's new running app. I need to turn off RockMyRun. And I also tried out TempoRun. And probably my favorite was Spotify's running app. The reason I liked the Spotify running app the most was because I felt like I was getting the most music that I hadn't necessarily heard of. They had everything from music that you might hear in a movie during a chase scene, and I used that the first time I ran with it, and I kind of loved it because I felt like it was more true to my pace, and I felt like it was actually pushing me to go faster. I also liked the Spotify running app actually detected my tempo before I started running. There is also the point that the Spotify running app is something I was already using, and I feel like I have to be kind of transparent about that. I am a Spotify user. I have always liked it. I haven't always paid though. So even though I really enjoyed the Spotify running app, I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not I would spend $10 a month to get this running feature. But for the purpose of choosing the best running application, it is still my favorite. The TempoRun app I thought was a really neat idea because it was so inexpensive and I really had high hopes for it. It was kind of odd though that you actually choose the level you want to start at. So what that means is if you're gonna start walking from the get-go, you're gonna choose a 1 probably. If you're gonna start with a light jog, you're gonna go with around a 5. So it will supposedly adjust for you, but both times that I ran with it, it didn't actually adjust at all. And I wasn't sure if it was because I wasn't speeding up enough as I was running or if it was because I'm just too slow. I also wasn't really sure that the app's level register was accurate, so I started listening at a 5, and the first song that I started listening to was so slow that I kind of felt like it was killing my mood right from the get-go. RockMyRun has already seen a lot of praise from different venues, and I did like it. I want to make that clear. I liked it a lot. It was actually difficult for me to choose between RockMyRun and Spotify's running app. The reason I kind of not a fan is partially because of the cost, partially because I didn't like the music I was listening to when I was using it, and I might have been choosing poor playlists, but I just could not get into it. I also didn't like that you had to download the playlists in order to get the tempo function. Another thing that I found out about this app that I think is kind of weird, that I discovered before I even went out on a run, is that it is taking the soundtrack that is pre-recorded and it is speeding it up so it sounds like a chipmunk, you know, if you run fast enough, of course. So like I said earlier, Spotify is my favorite of these 3 apps that we tried out today. Lucky for you, they're all pretty cheap if you want to try it out on your own. Now I'm gonna get out of here because it's supposed to start raining soon.